So, give me a second. Mm. This is the last one I'm gonna do this. Um, I could have just put it all in one video and just left it as is. But I do my content how I do it, and this video will be the most. Uh, just, just, just listen to what I gotta say. And my last two videos, one of them I provided the context of basically during and after what happened, which was my first video called Goodbye ToonTown Rewritten, Ducklicious and Big Power, 5 years in. The second video was called ToonTown Rewritten Support Responds. And this second video was the first video in its entirety and 5 minutes of me trying to get more in depth on the topic and stuff like that. But this video is not going to include either of those videos. It's just going to be basically a summary and a real just misunderstanding on everything. So let's get started. It's New Year's 2023, January 2nd. I was having a good day. You know, I stream games and I do stuff all the time. And if I'm keeping it real with y'all, I just hopped on a game because I was gonna max out a second tune. Because why not? You know, I enjoy the game. I love Toontown for years. I've gotten as far as possible as I've always wanted to on the first Toontown game. So I decided to download Rewritten once I found out that the game returned because I love the game. I just simply love the game. That's why I played it for 5 years straight. And I downloaded the game back then, and I didn't know what kind of name I wanted to go with. I wanted to choose a name. I just didn't want one of the generated names off the game. I wanted something to for me, not to stand out necessarily, but to just be something that I made, and just I don't know. It's more of a better feeling of having your own thing compared to the randomly generated names that aren't bad per se, but eventually a lot of people are going to use all the names and have the same name. It's a lot better to make new names and stuff like that. And so I came up with Big Power. I don't know, but someone called me Austin Powers once on the game, on maybe the same day that this all happened. But I'm just providing context and everything that needs to be in this whole thing in general. And then in 20, I honestly do not know the year, 2020 or 2021 or 2022. In one of those 3 years, I created a second tune. Or maybe even any other year that's between 2017 and 2022. In the span of those 5 years, I made another tune that's basically just a duck, and its name was Duck Delis because of my old channel, Duck Deadlies. Is basically a meme that was around. JJ Orange knows what it is, and it was an account I used to have as a meme, and I made it, and I just randomly had the thought of making it an actual tune and something more than just a little bit of a meme, and of course it was still a meme. But then I made it a tune. But then I wanted to change the name because it just there's stuff that I didn't like about X Deadlies, and there's stuff that, for its own reasons, won't be explained in depth on this video, and just for its own reasons, in particular. And in 2021 or 2022, and if not those years, then somehow 2020, which I kind of doubt because of a lot of other stuff I was doing at 2020. In 2020, I renamed the account of something that I randomly thought of is Duckalicious, because delicious and duck. And it works. It's good. It's great. It's a grand legendary. So I made that the name, and I started playing on that account a little bit to get a couple things, and to just do a couple things. I didn't really play the tune because I was working on Big Power, and then I got to some tasks that will take a very, very long time. I didn't really want to play the game as much, and I've gotten to a far point in the game on Big Power. So I decided to max out and start basically going to the same point with Duckalicious. And in the span of those 5 years, I was mainly playing as Big Power, and I kept playing and growing, and I even made a couple of classic videos that it didn't blow up, but for me personally and for the channel, my last channel, I made a couple videos with Big Power that kind of blew up. I even have a couple videos that I never uploaded. One of them had one of my friends in it that hadn't logged in for years, and I hadn't seen him in forever. And hopefully none of them unadded me, but I don't doubt it because I was inactive. Sometimes I wasn't always consistently online. But then the day came, January 2nd, 2023. I should have put 2023 instead of 2022, I just realized. But anyway, I'll update it after this video. Basically, I just hopped on and I was just doing my usual task. I was growing all of my stuff. I seen a couple of friends were online. And I even had a comment from one of the friends that I played with recently, comment saying, please don't quit Toontown. But it sucks because it shows how much people actually care and people want me to play with them. You know, I even would consider some of these people my friends, somewhat, because they're all just kind of cool. You know, some of the people are a good community. Of course, there's toxic players in the span of 5 years, and if anybody thinks I'm toxic, well, firstly, watch this video before you figure out your opinion, because I watched my 2 videos and I might come off a tiny bit toxic, but if you don't understand it in general. So I'm also making this video to explain even more. So I was doing my usual tasks. I was doing my XP. I was having fun. Sometimes I joke around with just random people. It's just me being me. All right, just to keep it real with y'all. I just joke around and I do random stuff. If I see a group of people talking, I'm gonna go up to them and say something and then just run, or I just chill there for a second and emote, or not emote. That doesn't make any sense. But do an animation and then dip. Just a joke and make someone's day better. You know, so just to make someone have a good day. Just for all of that, chill, good vibes, and just chill, making someone happy or something. Just for one day of January 2nd, 2023 to happen, and to make me have not a good day. And it still was a good day. And honestly, I think it was the best decision that I quit the game, because I played it for so long, and honestly, I put a lot of time into a game that it's just time to do other things, and it works best, honestly. I'll get into that after the whole thing. But yeah, the whole spiel, whatever, happened as I was in Toontown Central. Someone was saying, or no, there's people in the middle, which is the usual spot, even on Toontown Online, that I used to play, because I used to play Toontown Online. And there's just stuff happening, and then there's a dog, and then they said something, and they're just being kind of sus, and I'm saying this as a joke, by the way. And I was just like, okay. They said something about a party, and again, like I said, if ToonTown Rewritten had any theater mode, and if it's not possible, then that's fine. But if there's no way they can monitor a game 24/7, which is fine. But when you have a game, you have to have some type of something. You have to have at least one person in the servers, in each of the servers, watching to make sure, in each of the districts, in each of the places, maybe. You got to have someone watching if you really want to do something like that. And I don't know if y'all get donated and get money like that. I'm just saying in general, if you really want to keep that security tight, because this type of stuff will happen, and honestly, it's okay. Again, like I said, I don't even think I'm going to be playing anymore, and I highly doubt that I will be. I don't think there's even a smidgen of a chance that I'm going to be playing this game, especially after how the moderation team slash support had handled the whole thing, and I'll get to that soon. But basically, the dog said something about a party, saying that I'll crash your party. I'm like, okay, bet, everybody come to the party if you want, because I held 5 different parties, spending all of my jelly beans that I've earned. Not really, I was at freaking Donald's Dock, but I also earned a little bit. But I did it, and I told everybody there that I did it because of you people still supporting the game, and I did it, and I wanted you, everybody that wanted to come and have a good time, and just everybody have a good time and enjoy. And I did that, and I told them I don't even know these people. First time meeting some of these people, and I told them it was because of you that I did this. Funny, next thing you know, later that day, I get banned for something. It's just it makes zero sense. But um, anyway, so yeah, I basically told them that it was for them, and it was something that I wanted to do with my grandma and brother. But um, they one of them came online and played some. JJ Warner's didn't join, but that was fine. I like I said, he got a missed out though. It was really lit, and there's a lot of cool people there. And they said thank you for the party, you know. And I had about 5 or 6 different ones, spending every jelly bean that I had just to give some people a good time and to have some fun and enjoy the time that they're playing on the game. Anyway, so I said that stuff in Toontown Central. Their friend, which was a deer, came up and uh, said stuff about clothes or whatever, or just said some kind of joke. And then I started joking with them, and then they said something about my clothes, and I told them you have the default clothes. And then I guess they took it personally, and then basically since then they started, actually how it really happened is they started harassing me right there. And it was clear from right there. I was like, okay. And then I still was like, okay, whatever, let's chill. I'll still joke around with them and everything. Um, and I joke around, and then they take it more serious and serious. They're allowed to harass me, but if I say anything, not even harassing, but if I say anything that's like, okay, y'all are on a children's game. Come on, like grow up. Like just stop. Like it's a kids game. Why? What is the point? What is your goal? Well, what are you really gonna get out of it? You're kicking someone who played the game for 5 years straight off. Well, congratulations, you did. You got me off the game. How does it make you feel that there's one less person on the game now that actually helped other people, other tunes for 5 years straight, helped my grandma and brother at the game, and sister, which doesn't play anymore because also she can't, and just helped other tunes that I didn't have to help, but I decided to. I didn't want to play at times, and I still decided to stay and play with these people. I have so many people added on my account, and I've helped a lot of people along the way. And yet, this is what I get. This is 5 years, almost 6 years, of playing something, and this is it. This is what I get out of all of that. And from the support team, I'll get into that. I cannot wait to get into that. Um, so right then and there was my first ban. They said I wasn't being toony or whatever the screen says. I'll get the freaking screen again. I really I ser like toony. It's saying toony. You're being rude to other tunes. That's how children friendly this game is, and these people are fully grown adults and they're acting like children, and it's fine. Honestly, no one has to grow up, but you have to at least get a little bit of the responsibility when you are an adult, and you have to have responsibilities. And again, like I pointed out, you pay bills, you get cars, and there's all this stuff you got to do, jobs even, and you're you're on a kids game doing this. It's just really, and then the support team really does what they do. Oh my gosh. It says, quote, be careful, it sounds like you aren't being very toony. The Toon Council has sent you a warning for being rude to other tunes. All I was doing is doing tasks, and I was going around in one place. If they, for whatever reason, or someone that knew them, reported me out of nowhere, then, or it was one of the people that I unfriended because they were talking about me to them, and they were talking to them, so I unfriended him and I left. You can go to my stream if you want to look at the proof. If it's still up, I'm not sure if it's still up, but you can go to my stream that this happened, and it was, I think it's called the last ToonTown Rewritten stream, and basically I unfriend them because they were starting to talk to them, and I'm like, okay, that's not something I want. So I unfriended them and just dipped. So they for sure know, because if I unfriended them, they can't report me. So how did I get reported out of nowhere? All I was doing was playing the game and then randomly get banned offline. It doesn't make sense. Like, it just doesn't add up. Unless someone there knew about it or knew about that whole thing and just reported me right from the get go as soon as they saw me, or as soon as whatever they saw my name. I wasn't even. I left the whole thing. They might have been still talking about it, I don't doubt, but I left that whole thing. And I was in frickin' Donald's Dock. They were in Toontown Central. I was in a whole different frickin' place, a whole different district, and I made sure. A whole different frickin' street, and they were still like, what is this? Like, why? Um so yeah, then that happened. And then I made my videos. And it really doesn't make any sense how they basically, their first response was just pretty much ignoring um what I sent them. I told them that this is what's going on. All right, if you guys are going to continue to let this happen, I'm not going to play your game anymore. They sent me an email in response saying something. I'm not even going to read it. I'm not going to waste my time on this game. It's done and over with at this point. I'm just giving context to this whole thing, really. When I said F Toontown Rewritten, I just mean the game in general. The support and the moderation team need a lot more work into what they do, and I'm not I'm not trying to make anybody have a bad time. I'm not trying to stress anybody out. I'm not trying to be like, instantly respond. I need a response. Come on, or freaking try to get them to get something done right away. I mean, it's very simple. There's not really much that needs to be done except let me not be banned. I've already explained my side of the story, and I even made a video on it that kind of amassed in views. And I do not doubt that someone from Toontown Rewritten has saw the video, and I'm honestly crossing my fingers hoping, because there's no way that people can have a game like that going on and nothing is really done, or stuff like that happens maybe all the time, and their response is, okay, if you see any tunes being not toony, report them. Did they mean to send that to someone else? I've been playing y'all game for 5 years, and I played in Toontown Online, and wasn't banned for anything bad on that game on online or rewritten. I haven't been banned for 5 years. 5 years I have not been banned on Toontown Rewritten, but all of a sudden I'm banned on a second tune. It's not even my main tune. Like I said, and you can quote me if you want, but if you don't have a sense of humor, then you might not enjoy my content. If you don't understand the jokes that I'm making, or if you don't get them, or if they offend you in any way possible, firstly, I'm sorry, I apologize. I didn't want that response from you. I want you to laugh. I want you to be happy. I want you to be something at least, and make your day better in some way possible. But if I don't get that from you and I get something that's not what I want, then that's not my fault for making the joke. That's not my fault. That is neither really anybody's fault. I don't even think it's anybody's fault. I just think that the only way to solve that whole thing is to walk away, go away. Don't watch my videos or live streams. Don't watch anything from me, my content. Don't go to me anymore, basically. And if you continue to, and you still comment, and you harass and you say all these bad things, then that's up to you. That's your decisions. I personally don't think that should be a decision at all. But if you want to use your time like that, and use your time to do that during the day, and out of the 24 hours in your day, spend any much time on someone else because you were not happy with them one time, and if not more than once, then I honestly don't think that's the best decision. But go for it. Go ahead. Let alone getting reported one time. I got spam reported by several different people because of a joke. If they don't have a sense of humor, that is not on me. That is not my fault. Sorry, I'm funny. My bad. My fault that I'm actually humorous. I even asked them nicely, can you fix this issue? I ignored them and reported them for the rude behavior. But yet, when they report me, it just when they responded, it sounded like they are on their side about things. If they, if all, if I had it recorded on stream, because I don't think I actually had my screen on for it for whatever reason. Now that I remember some of the stream, if I had it recorded, because I was there, I saw it with my eyes. If I had the whole incident recorded, all I would need to do is firstly send that to ToonTown Rewritten, let them know that this is going on, and then also say, I'm going to be quitting your game because you're letting people like this play. And that's also why I'm not playing right now, is because that's the type of people that are on this game. They've been on this game for years, and nothing is necessarily being done. They need some type of something more than what they have going on to prevent that from happening anymore. And then I even told them that that would be the 6th year I was going to be playing. And it necessarily does not matter how long someone has been playing, it just matters that someone was playing in the first place. But still, I think the longer they played, the more you would kind of think that they know how to, do things, especially when, and they as in me, and kind of know that I know what I'm doing, and especially when I was never banned for 5 years, mind you, 5 years. I went without being banned, nothing bad happening. But then this. I'll admit I might have said something earlier that it doesn't contradict this fully, but this will make more sense when I say this. I have been banned on Toontown Online for doing mistakes, alright? I did a couple of mistakes. I wasn't rude to anybody, otherwise I would have said that. But I did something that was my fault for using the language that I used. But it wasn't directed at anybody else. I just said some stuff, and I got banned. My mistake. Sorry for Toontown that happened. But that is the only time that I have been banned on Toontown for swearing or saying any words that I did not mean to say on the game. And that's the only time that I have been banned. The only other time I've been banned is for getting spam reported. So, again, like I said, screw that. Nope, never again. They even said, Hi there. Hi there, Zach. No worries. Every report that the moderation department receives is thoroughly investigated. If there are any innocent toons in the mix, they will not be punished. If you ever run into a toon that's misbehaving, please be sure to report them. I just told them that I reported some people for misbehaving. 2 different people. 3 of them, I could have reported more than 2, but I reported the only 2 people that were misbehaving. Boom. Problem solved, right? Wrong. And they even told me to send them an email about the whole thing. And again, I did all that. And their response was basically ignoring what I said. And if it was thoroughly investigated, how come nothing was done? Nothing was done, bruh. I'm not doing that. A description of the incident I witnessed. I was freaking playing the game. All I was doing is playing the game, having fun, joking around, and boom, just like that. No. And a toon ID and all that type of stuff. Like, all I'm like, okay, that makes sense. All right, but if it's something as simple as just this happening, I do not doubt that they might get banned and then come back on the game. I don't know how their system works, or if they got a YouTube 3 strikes and you're out type of thing going on. All I know is for what they did, I mean, sure, banned for however long, whatever, if that's what they want to do. But in general, I don't think those people should be playing the game in general. If they do something that fast and quickly and easily as they did, if anything, they should make a new account to play the game. That's a permaban. And if I was a moderation team, or if I did anything support team for my game, if I released a game, that's an instant ban. If you mess up knowing the rules, knowing that rules in terms of service or whatever, all of that stuff, community guidelines, whatever you want to call it, all the same thing. If you read the rules before playing the game, which you have to, you're forced to, and knowing basically just to have some decency at all, knowing all of that in general, and you still do that, you're not getting away with it in my game. You're gonna have to learn respect for other people. If you can't learn respect, no wonder nobody knows how to do things like I do, for one, and nobody freaking it just, no wonder nobody is able to just do things more than, it's just, I don't know. Like they can do more, but they just are so disrespectful, and that's how everything is nowadays. That's how everything's cool, and just how it is nowadays. So obviously that's how it makes sense, but it doesn't. I told them that I had no intentions of doing stupid stuff that they were doing, and I was hoping to make him at least laugh because I was joking, obviously, like I said. But um, and the same exact stuff happened on PlayStation. And I've said it before: if I get permanently banned from PlayStation, not only will I be moving consoles, but I will basically not support anything PlayStation wise. I would have no mind in destroying my PlayStation with anything that I have and just completely obliterating it. But I'm just gonna sell it if that comes to happen. If that happens to be, then I have no problem with selling it, because someone else can have it. Someone else can play it and have fun if they think that's fun and having fun. Because to me, that's what video games are. That's what anything is. If you can't have fun with it, it needs work. And that's why, when if I were a support, moderation, anything in general, I want people to have fun. If people aren't letting people have fun, they should not be there until they learn to have fun, and have fun with other people, let other people have fun, because that's my goal. That's what I want. But if these people cannot do that for ToonTown Rewritten, as ToonTown Online did, at least tried, I don't see it being a game I would ever play again. Oh, and getting banned until January 15th, which, mind you, today it's January 8th. That's a whole freaking week. Do they need 2 weeks to figure out that people are just talking trash on a game and acting as children on a children's game, which is maybe fine, maybe that's cool. But when they got rules that says that they can't do that, and then they let that happen, and then they support them, I can completely see why no one plays that game, because it doesn't deserve to be played if it doesn't know how to be a game, for one, and if it's not a good game, that's another. I told them, have a good 2023 to each of you. All best wishes. Best wishes to you all of them. and I've said it before and again, and I just want to kind of preface this and really get what I meant to say, because it might seem like, oh, I'm just, you know, whatever I was doing. But when I said F Toontown Rewritten, I'm frustrated. It's already happened with PlayStation, the same exact situation. If anybody else was in my shoes, they'd completely understand. I'm just saying, put yourself in my shoes, put yourself in my position. What if this happened to you? Ask that question. Really think about it. If this happened to you, how would you feel? And you can react in any way about it. But for me personally, I'm frustrated with, like, firstly, it's people. Next, it's these things that are supposed to work, supposed to be good things. YouTube, Twitch, PlayStation, and Toontown Rewritten, and I guess for examples. YouTube and me, I feel like, can work something out. Out of all of those things, YouTube and me, I feel like we can work something, at least something. Maybe PlayStation. But Toontown Rewritten is something that I gave up all hope on. I gave up all faith and hope, and it's just not something I see that will be ever fixed. Because if this is how they're handling things, banning me for 2 weeks, 2 weeks, over joking in a game, I'm starting to think that not only their players, but the people that made the game I hurt their feelings too, and I don't see why. We all have something in common. We all like the game. We all want to play the game. After it basically got shut down, rightfully so. Um, and this, like, why? Why? Just why? I think honestly that they should shut down Toontown Rewritten, and Corporate Clash, because it's just like let's focus on new games now. Let's do new games. Old games, sure. I mean, it's cool and all, and Toontown is cool, but let's do new things. Not every game is accessible nowadays to everybody, and I honestly feel like the best thing is to just do new games. It's not like anybody else can code the same game and remake the same game, because that's still possible. So if you really want to play another game, then do that. But it's just in general, it's such an old game now, and it's such a just there's only so much you can do in the game also. And if you want to grind it out, if you want to max it out, go max it out. But otherwise, yeah. Also, if you're wondering, I'm disabling comments because I know most of the responses. It's simple. Just what the responses are going to be. If I ever play this game again, they would have to really up things, because um, as I said, that is one of the games that need to get their stuff together. If they really want a fan base, if they really want to be popular again, just like Call of Duty, they need to get their stuff together and do something for the people. And I know, Call of Duty might be doing a little bit, somewhat responding and somewhat doing something, but at the same time, you can't please everybody, and sometimes it's just the games that they kind of want to make, and if other people like them, they play them too. But sometimes it's just what the people want to make, and maybe they'll do what fans have said to them for extra money. Some people be like that, and that is the cold hard truth, is the cold hard cash. That is just truly what they go for. They don't care about nothing else. They don't care about their fans. They care about the cash. And just that alone, I bet you people watching this right now are freaking. They're like, oh, I can name a few companies that are like that, or name a few games that kind of be like that, and it makes sense. But for me, if I ever made a game and if I ever did any of this is something that would have been handled very easily, and I would not be unprepared making a game that isn't available to really look and search in depth on situations that, if this ever happened, a COD theater mode or something, that I'm able to see and analyze what's going on to truly understand the situation, both sides of the stories, even if there's more, and just anything that I can do to make people have fun and enjoy their time on a video game. Because if it's not having fun, then something's wrong with the game, and it needs to be worked on. And what they need to work on is figuring out a way to monitor the game more. Like, they got to have some type of staff in each of the districts, in each of the places. I know it sounds like a lot, but when stuff like this happens, and if I'm getting unrightfully banned for 2 weeks, then there's got to be more. They got to up the security or something. Because I'm not trying to sound like I'm, I'm I'm trying to like just talk trash on this game. That's if you really don't understand anything, and if you just think of that, that's not even close to what it is on the surface. It's just me both critiquing the game and wanting the game to be better, and that's what critiquing does for a lot of the things. And when people discuss and talk, like I said, instead of just fighting, that's how the best things happen. And again, that could be just my opinion, that could be just me, but that's how I truly feel about all that. Maybe the one thing you can quote from this video is just let the game just I don't want to like say it in this fashion or way, but just let the game die. It's almost 10 plus years old now. It's almost a decade old. Just let the game. There's less than 1,000 people playing daily. I've played for 5 years straight. There was way more people playing back in the day. A lot of people just don't play because they're doing other things. Some people have actually being adults, some of them, and some of them are even being adults and also playing the game, but still, some of the people just kind of grew out of the game. And it doesn't take much to do so. Because, again, like I said, there's not really much you can do. There's only so much that you can do, and before you kind of get bored of just going to do toon tasks, turning in toon tasks, fighting bosses, um, and going to the HQs and freaking fighting cogs and maxing out gags and maxing out laugh as much as possible and fishing, and it's just eventually you're gonna run out of things to do, and okay, make a new tune to do all that again. Okay, have fun. But if they don't know what they're doing to the point that that happens, then that's why I said that they don't know what they're doing. And pretty much as simple as that. They don't know what they're doing, and if they can't figure out what to do in those type of situations, then like I just said, let the game die. Simple as that. So this video is 36 minutes. I said what I needed to say. I could have been doing anything else for 36 minutes, but it's just 36 minutes that I hope someone will watch. Someone somewhere will watch and hopefully understand and hopefully get the things that just need to be looked into and just everything else. So that's all I need to say about this. Thank you all for watching. The homies X710. If you have anything you want to talk about in the comments or anything anywhere, just let me know. But again, don't take anything bad from this video. I just want you guys to take from this video to, as game designers maybe, or just anything to take note. Just really listen to what I say. Maybe watch the video more than once. Maybe you don't have to look at the screen, but just play it in the background and just kind of listen and really understand where I'm coming from, because this was unrightfully not making any sense. Same with PlayStation, and I enjoy both ToonTown Rewritten, ToonTown Online, ToonTown Rewritten. I like Disney also. I enjoy Disney. I enjoy PlayStation, and I sometimes enjoy Call of Duty. Sometimes. So overall, it's really just, I kind of wish things were better for all of these things. But it is what it is. It's cool. It's just whatever, because I have so many other things to do and a lot of other games to play. So this is not really much of anything that's really bad or negative in any way toward anything that I'm doing. So it's cool with me. But yeah, I hope you guys will take some from this video. And again, if you don't understand anything, ask me or ask someone and talk. And not in the comments, because I won't have any comments on this video, because it's not necessary. Because I already know I don't need to be spammed with that type of stuff when there's so much other things that I need to hear and that I also want to hear. So comments won't be available, but my Twitter is, my social media is, everything else is available if you guys want to talk or do anything about that. But just keep in mind, I don't mean this in a malicious way, in a bad way, negative way, or anything. No harassment, no trash talking, if anything, critique, and just trying to figure out why this all happened. But that's all I want to hear from this topic. I'm not going to be talking about ToonTown Rewritten anymore. I'm not going to be doing anything for this game. And thank you, Disney, for making ToonTown Online, ToonTown Rewritten, and good games.